Dawn melts over Seoul's skyline, painting gold across the glass-walled penthouse office of Kang Dae Hyun, the most feared CEO in the city. Today was supposed to be the most important day of his entire career. The global launch of Dae Hyun Tech's $100 billion innovation, the project he built with blood, obsession, and sleepless years. Investors had flown in from 6 countries. The world's media was stationed downstairs to broadcast the unveiling live. A historic morning. But inside the penthouse, a completely different history was being written. Because on the long leather couch, 2 bodies lie tangled, half-dressed, intimate, and painfully exposed through the transparent walls.
Sienna,
24. Beautiful, dark-skinned. A cleaner with no business being anywhere near this floor. And Kang Dae Hyun himself, shirt undone, belt loose, his arm heavy across her waist. From the outside, through the glass walls designed to show power and transparency, it looks like the CEO had a wild night with his cleaner hours before the global launch. Then,
flash, flash, flash.
Explosions of camera lights hit the penthouse from skyscrapers nearby. Reporters scream from rooftops and drones hover, live streaming everything. The CEO and the cleaner. Scandal before the billion-dollar launch. What is going on in that office? Sienna's eyes flutter open. Her heart slams against her ribs as she sees her skirt, her bare legs, her bra strap loose, his body against hers. The camera's flashing. Her breath cracks. No, no, no. She scrambles up, trying to cover herself, but the world is already watching her humiliation live. Dae Hyun wakes, blinks once, then shoots upright. For a second, pure disbelief hits him. Then it turns to absolute fury. Not panic, not confusion. Cold, volcanic fury. He sees the cameras. He hears the reporters. He sees her, a cleaner, in his arms hours before the biggest launch of his life. His jaw turns to iron.
What did you
do? Before she can speak.
Boom.
The penthouse doors swing open. His security rushes in, sealing the blinds, blocking cameras, shouting. Sir, the reporters got everything. Drones, rooftops, street angles, everything. Investors are asking what's happening. The press conference is collapsing. Dae Hyun's aura turns lethal. He grabs Sienna by the wrist and drags her across the office. She stumbles, terrified, trying to speak, but he's beyond reason. He shoves her into the private restroom and slams her back against the marble wall. Her knees shake.
His voice is low, deadly.
Who sent you? He inches closer. Who paid you to ruin me today? Who paid you to sleep with me? I don't even remember, she whispers, tears blurring her vision. He slams his hand beside her head. You think this is an accident? His breath is sharp. My company launch just imploded because you were on my couch half naked. Her chest rises and falls in panic. I swear, I don't know how but he's done listening. He pins her to the wall, choking her. She coughs, her eyes turning red. You're going to kill me, sir. I swear I know nothing about it. I can't remember how we had sex or how I ended up there with you. He has dealt with a lot of spies, but he never expected the next one to be his invisible maid. A mere clumsy cleaner. A call came in. He angrily turned away from her. And then Sienna ran. She ran like a culprit, but as she moved down the stairs, she wondered why she was running, wondering why she didn't stand her truth and proved her innocence. Why are you running, you fool? She fell down, breathing hard and heavy. He turns toward the door and says the words that freeze her blood. Find her. Bring her to me. A chilling pause. Alive or dead? The men outside answer instantly. Yes, sir. Sienna's body goes cold. He believes she destroyed his billion-dollar launch. He believes she was planted to scandalize him. He believes she's the enemy. And now, the whole world has seen something she doesn't even remember being part of. If you are enjoying the story so far, kindly subscribe to K-Fairytale by Maria. The city was already asleep, but Dae Hyun's penthouse office still glowed like a tower of cold fire. The cleaners always worked after midnight. But tonight, only one girl showed up. Sienna, 24.
broke,
tired, trying to survive. She pushed her cart down the silent hallway, her feet aching inside cheap shoes. She'd worked 3 double shifts in a row. Rent was due in 2 days. And she was still paying off her mother's hospital bills. Her life was a quiet storm. Before climbing up to the CEO's floor, she stopped at the little coffee shop downstairs. She needed something to keep her awake. "1 iced coffee, extra strong, please," she whispered. She took a sip as she headed upstairs. Cold, refreshing, familiar. But something felt off. 10 minutes later, a wave of heat crawled up her neck. Her palms began to sweat. Her chest tightened. The hallway stretched like a tunnel. Her vision blurred around the edges. Her heartbeat was too fast, too loud, too wrong. What's happening to me? She tried to steady herself on the door frame, but her legs gave out, and she collapsed straight into Kang Dae Hyun's arms. He caught her before she hit the floor, shock flickering across his hard features. She wasn't supposed to be on this floor while he worked. No one was. "What are you doing here?" he snapped, but his voice softened when he felt her trembling. "Hey, maid, look at me." He didn't even know her name. The drug was sinking deeper. Her eyes glazed with heat. Her breath shook. Her mind drowned in a fever she didn't understand. Her fingers moved on their own, tracing the line of his jaw, touching his collar, sliding down his chest. He grabbed her wrists. "Stop. You're not thinking clearly." But she lifted her face to his. She wasn't Sienna in that moment. She was a burning instinct, a woman drowning in a sensation she couldn't control. Her lips trembled. Then, she kissed him. Not softly, not shyly. A hungry, clumsy, desperate kiss. He froze. 1 second.
2,
3. She was drugged. He knew something was wrong. He should have pushed her away. But her heat, her scent, her broken whisper of his name, something shattered in him. He pulled her back. Their mouths collided again. Harder, hotter, wrong, but unstoppable. Her hands slid into his hair. His grip tightened on her waist. Their breaths tangled. Their control dissolved. They crashed onto the couch, and the world outside ceased to exist. Shirts came undone. Buttons scattered. Her skirt pushed up. His belt unbuckled. The kiss deepened. Turned wild. Turned intimate. Their bodies moved like they had been waiting for this night their whole lives. She gasped his name. He whispered hers against her skin.
heat, breath,
Motion. Surrender. They made love. Intense.
wrong,
Beautiful. Unplanned. Burning. When it was over, she lay on his chest, breathing hard, trembling, fighting the darkness closing in. He stared at her like he was trying to understand what spell she put him under. She stared back, eyes glossy, whispering something he couldn't fully hear. And then she collapsed, passing out completely on top of him. The night swallowed them. The world kept turning, and the sunrise would bring disaster. Back to morning. The disaster that would swallow both their lives had already begun. The moment Sienna stumbled out of the penthouse restroom, her hair messy, shirt half-buttoned, legs shaking, the world was waiting for her. Literally.
flash, flash, flash,
Drones hovered outside the glass like hungry insects. News vans screamed outside the building. Every reporter in Seoul was shouting her name. Sienna, look here. The cleaner who slept with the CEO. Did he pay you? Are you his mistress? Sienna froze. Her vision went white. Her knees wobbled. Her humiliation was now global. But it was too late. Her image, half-dressed, frightened, confused, was already streaming everywhere. Trending #1. The cleaner and the CEO. Her phone exploded with notifications, vibrating nonstop inside her pocket. Someone online wrote, she seduced him for money. She ruined a $100 billion launch. She deserves jail. Sienna felt her world collapse. She didn't remember any of it. She didn't even know how she ended up on that couch. Why her body felt weak and hot the night before. Why her mind was blurry. But none of that mattered now. Because downstairs, The entire board was in chaos. Inside the penthouse, Kang Dae Hyun stood like a storm about to strike. Phone after phone rang on his desk. Board member number 1. Hyun. The investors are furious. Our credibility is gone. Board member number 2. The 100 billion launch is ruined. Board member number 3. Reporters are saying you're unstable. This could crash our stock. Each call sharpened his fury. Each headline poisoned his pride. Each photo of him and Sienna went more viral. Him asleep with her. His hand on her waist. Her bra strap loose. Their bodies tangled like lovers. To the world, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't confusion. It looked planned. A setup. A scandal meant to destroy him hours before the company he built alone was about to change global technology. And in his mind, only one person benefited.
Sienna.
The cleaner no one ever noticed until she destroyed him. His voice was ice. She played me. His men lowered their heads. Sir, should we capture her? Dae Hyun's jaw locked. Lock the exits. Seal the elevators. She couldn't have gone far. Find her. His men moved instantly, spreading out through the building. Sienna, meanwhile, was being pushed into an elevator by a sympathetic guard who whispered,
Go. Run.
before they get orders. Her heart thundered. The elevator doors opened into the lobby, and the world outside exploded into screams. Cameras. Microphones.
Phones.
Accusations. She couldn't breathe. How did she lose control? She doesn't even drink, so how? Security coats slipped off her shoulders. She tripped.
Fell.
Got up again. Then she kicked off her shoes and ran barefoot into the streets, tears blurring her vision. Past reporters. Past security. Past chaos.
Past shame.
Running for her life. From cameras, from the world, and from the Mafia CEO who believed she had just destroyed everything he had built. Sienna's lungs were burning by the time she slipped into a tiny 24-hour laundry shop at the corner of the street. She ducked behind rows of spinning machines, her bare feet cold against the tiles, her body trembling. She had escaped the men chasing her. She had escaped the reporters. She had escaped Kang Dae Hyun, but she couldn't escape the world. Because right above her head, a giant neon billboard blared. Breaking news. Poor cleaner ruins $100 billion launch. Her picture, half-dressed, panicked, messy, flashed beside Dae Hyun's furious face. People walking by pointed and whispered. One woman scoffed. She should go to jail. Another man muttered. These low-class girls will do anything for attention. Sienna's heart cracked like thin ice. Poor brat. Stained his image. Destroyed Korea's most powerful CEO. She hugged her knees and cried silently into her palms. How did it get on TV so fast? How did the world find out? How did everything collapse in less than an hour? Her mind spun, and only one person came to her heart.
Hannah.
Her safe place. Her shelter. Her one constant in the world. Her best friend of 22 years. Hannah would comfort her. Hold her. Tell her everything would be okay. Help her figure out what really happened. With shaky steps, Sienna left the laundry shop and walked home, hiding her face from street cameras, pulling her shirt closed, praying no one would recognize her. By the time she reached her apartment door, her heartbeat finally began to slow. She wanted to surprise Hannah, to fall into her arms and cry everything out. She turned the key quietly, but before she pushed the door open, she froze. Hannah's voice, inside the apartment, was not soft, was not worried, was not crying. It was wicked. It was laughing. Laughing. Sienna pressed her ear to the door, and what she heard shattered her soul. Hannah laughing. I slipped the drug perfectly. Sienna's breath died in her throat. She fell right into his arms exactly like we planned. Sienna's fingers trembled violently on the doorframe. Now everyone thinks she seduced him. The idiot still hasn't realized she was drugged. He'll spend weeks believing she set him up. Now we stopped the 100 billion launch as you wanted, sir. Hannah laughs out loud. A cold numbness spread across Sienna's body. Her best friend, her best friend,
Drugged her?
set her up, destroyed her life?
Why?
Hannah continued. Don't worry, boss. I handled everything. The scandal will ruin him and her. Your plan worked. Boss. Who's boss?
Who was Hannah talking to?
Sienna's vision blurred with tears she couldn't control. Her lips shook. Her chest caved in. Everything inside her broke at once. The dizziness. The heat.
The blur.
The way she fell into Dae Hyun. The kiss she couldn't stop. The confusion. The night she didn't understand. It was the coffee. She probably bribed the person that attended to her in the coffee shop. It was Hannah. Her sister in everything. Her best friend since childhood. Her only family. She betrayed her. She covered her mouth with her palm, silent sobs escaping from it. Feeling a deep, wounded ache. The kind that changes a person forever. She wiped her tears. Slow, controlled cold. And then she rose. She pushed the door open. Hannah turned instantly, eyes wide, acting shocked and worried, rushing toward her. Sienna walked up to her. Hannah ran to Sienna the moment she walked in. Face full of fake panic. Voice soft. Too soft. Sienna, oh my God. I saw everything online. Are you okay? Sienna nodded weakly. Her eyes red. Her body trembling. But her mind? Sharp. Awake. Watching. Hannah wrapped her in a hug. Warm arms. Cold intentions. And hugged her. A tight, shaking hug. Hannah hugged back, pretending to care, stroking Sienna's back like a perfect friend. Sienna swallowed her pain and whispered, Hannah, you won't believe what I've been through. Pretending. Smiling faintly. Oh my God, Seelan, I know I've been sick, worried, and been calling you. Everyone is looking for you, but I'm here for you. We will go though this together. She tightens the hug, acting broken. But inside her chest, a storm was forming. Sienna played along. She had to secretly go to that coffee shop and find out why her best friend betrayed her. If you do the same thing, subscribe to K-fairytales by Maria and tell me where you're watching from. An hour later, I'll cook for you, she whispered. I'll take care of everything. She moved around the small apartment like a perfect friend.
Soup boiling.
Blankets fluffed. Pillow arranged under Sienna's head. Sienna lay there, pretending to be broken. Pretending she didn't hear that phone call. Pretending she didn't know the truth. But her eyes followed Hannah. Every step. Every glance. Every trembling hand. Something was off. Hannah kept checking her phone. Locking it. Hiding it. Turning the screen away whenever Sienna looked. Her voice shook when she spoke. Mr. Dae Hyun already thinks I planned any of this. He's dangerous, Sienna. Be careful. He can find you. You shouldn't go anywhere since the notice. Just stay with me. Fake worry. Fake tears. Real guilt. Sienna swallowed hard. She forced her voice to break. I'm scared, Hannah. Hannah rushed to hold her hand. Don't worry. I won't let anything happen to you.
Lies.
Layer after layer of lies. Sienna watched Hannah's fingers tremble each time the phone buzzed. Anonymous numbers. Blocked calls. A message preview flashing briefly. Did she confess yet? Sienna's heart thumped painfully. Her mind rebuilt the pieces. The drugged coffee. The dizziness. Falling into his arms. The scandal exploding instantly. She exhaled shakily. Her world was shifting. Nothing was normal anymore. Then, knock. Loud. Hard. Aggressive. The kind of knock that makes the heart shrink. Hannah froze. Sienna sat up instantly. Someone was outside. Someone who wasn't patient. The knocking didn't stop. It grew louder. Harder. Meaner. Then, crash. The door flew open. Dae Hyun stepped inside like a storm in human form. Cold eyes. Sharp jaw. Wrath wrapped in an expensive suit. Behind him, 6 Mafia men flooded the small apartment. Black coats. Black gloves. Black expressions. Sienna froze on the couch. Her breath caught in her chest. Hannah screamed dramatically. Leave my friend alone. She didn't do anything. She's innocent. Her voice wobbled perfectly. too perfectly. Dae Hyun didn't even glance at her. Not once. His eyes locked only on Sienna.
You.
Get up. His voice sliced through the air. Two men grabbed Sienna by the arms. I'm not going anywhere. I didn't do shit. I'm also a victim here, she fought. She didn't scream. She just watched Hannah's performance with the emptiest eyes. Hannah kept shouting,
Please.
Don't take her. She's traumatized. Sienna didn't want to see it. Hannah was crying. It hurt her more than being dragged away by the ruthless Mafia boss to wherever he was taking her. The fake friendship. Everything was fake. Dae Hyun leaned close to Sienna, his breath cold against her cheek. You caused me chaos. Now you face the consequences. And without another word, he dragged her out of the apartment, like a criminal caught red-handed. The hallway, the stairs, the cold night air, everything blurred together. Outside, a black SUV waited.
Tinted.
Armored. Dangerous. They shoved her inside. Door slammed. Her heart raced. Her throat tightened. But still, she stayed silent. Dae Hyun slid in next to her, jaw clenched tight. His phone buzzed nonstop. His advisor's voices echoed from the other end. Boss, the scandal is everywhere. This has destroyed the 100 billion launch. You need to control the narrative. The safest solution, marry her. Then, a final sentence. Make her your wife. The world will calm down. Tell the world you were dating her, that you both were in love, and there was no wrong in making love with his woman and his woman, and whoever tried to paint a terrible image of him will be punished. A long silence. Dae Hyun didn't look at Sienna, didn't speak to her, didn't blink. Then he said the words that sealed her fate.
Fine.
Prepare the chapel. Her chest tightened. Her hands shook. Marriage? To him? A man who hated the sight of her? A man who almost strangled her to death? But she remained calm, observing, going insane, thinking, quiet. The SUV sped through the city, passing flashing cameras and screaming reporters. Headlines blinked across giant screens. Poor cleaner traps billionaire Mafia boss. Penthouse scandal. Launch destroyed. Finally, the SUV stopped at his mansion. Huge, cold, and surrounded by armed guards. Inside, a private chapel awaited. White candles. Cold marble. A priest who looked terrified. Stand, Dae Hyun ordered. She stood. Repeat after me, the priest whispered. Dae Hyun's voice was like ice. You ruined my reputation.
And my business.
You will fix it. Before you do this to me, before you tie me in this bondage, I swear I didn't set you up. I swear I'm also a victim. Sienna looked at him, tears falling from her weak eyes. He ignores her, looking like a liar as usual. Moments later, stamp. The marriage certificate hit the table. Her fate?
Sealed.
The cameras flashed like fireworks. Sienna stepped out of the black car wearing a designer dress she was forced to wear and a smile that did not reach her eyes. Dae Hyun held her hand tightly, too tightly, pulling her close like she was a precious jewel he had fought wars to claim. To the world, they looked perfect. To Sienna, it felt like walking into the mouth of a beast. The conference room was packed, reporters, investors, partners, all hungry for a story. Dae Hyun stepped up to the mic.
Calm. Sharp.
Untouchable. My wife, he began. The word hit Sienna like a slap. He wrapped an arm around her waist. She stiffened. He pulled her even closer. I've been in love with her for a long time, he said smoothly, eyes scanning the room. She is the woman I chose freely. And I married her willingly. She's not a maid that I had a one-night stand with.
Gasps.
Whispers. Camera clicks intensifying. Sienna smiled softly on cue, her first performance as Mrs. Dae Hyun. As much as she hated this marriage, she understood one thing clearly. If she didn't play along, she would be finished. Her reputation, her life, everything. So she leaned her head on his shoulder.
Pretended to blush.
Pretended to be cherished. The world ate it up. Within hours, the rumor softened. True love. Secret romance. Maybe she wasn't a gold digger after all. The internet argued, defended, attacked, and Sienna stayed silent. Because silence was power. The mansion became a cage. After the conference, guards escorted her back to the mansion, the place she now lived but did not own. She was shown a room. Beautiful. Expensive.
Cold.
At midnight, she heard the click. The door locked from the outside. A prison, she whispered. She punched the door.
Kicked it.
Screamed into a pillow. Her hatred for Dae Hyun grew like fire in her veins. Daylight, a fake paradise. Everywhere she went, guards followed. 2 behind her. 1 in front. Another pretending to check his phone. There was no privacy. Not even to breathe. Dae Hyun kept her close at public events. His hand around her waist. His lips brushing her cheek. A gentle smile masking the monster beneath. But the moment the cameras were gone, you walk too slow. How I walk does not concern you, Mr. Dae Hyun. You embarrassed me. Don't forget what you owe me. Sometimes he grabbed her wrist until she winced. Sometimes he blocked the door and forced her to look him in the eyes while he insulted her. Sometimes he used silence as the weapon, locking her in her room with no explanation, until she confessed who sent her. And once, he tied her up for hours, but there was nothing for Sienna to say. Yet, Sienna stayed calm. She memorized the guard schedules. She overheard the enemy's names whispered in dark hallways. She noted passwords, hidden rooms, private calls. Every cruel night made her smarter. Every fake smile made her stronger. Every insult sharpened her mind. She wasn't just a prisoner. She was preparing for something bigger. One night, when the mansion was quiet and she pretended to be asleep, she heard it. Dae Hyun's shout from downstairs. Not anger. Not annoyance. Pure fury. Who sabotaged it, he roared. Find out now, before they destroy everything. Sienna's eyes opened slowly. Sabotage. So someone else was after him. And suddenly, her prison didn't feel so hopeless anymore. Sienna's phone vibrated for the 5th time that morning.
Hannah.
Her name flashing on the screen felt like a knife to the chest. Sienna let it ring. Then she answered, her voice soft, shaky, perfectly innocent. Hannah. Oh my God, Cece. I've been calling non-stop. Are you okay? Are they hurting you? Do you need help? Hannah's voice was soaked in fake concern. It trembled at the exact perfect moments. Not too much. Not too little. Oscar-worthy. Sienna bit her lip, forcing her breath to sound fragile. I'm fine, just overwhelmed, she whispered. They're treating me well. A lie disguised as truth. My baby, don't worry, Hannah cooed. I'm praying for you.
Just stay strong, okay?
I'm here for you. Sienna smiled bitterly. Here for her. To finish her. To destroy her. To laugh behind her back. But Sienna played along like a perfect fool. Thank you, she said softly. I don't know what I'd do without you. Hannah giggled lightly. You know I'll always check up on you. When the call ended, Sienna's face dropped instantly, like a mask falling off. Her eyes sharpened. Her heart hardened. She opened Hannah's contact. Tapped info. Scrolled. Then she saw it. A suspicious name hidden inside Hannah's banking alerts. SEO Corp Black Funds. And a recent deposit. 52 million Korean wons. From an encrypted Mafia-linked account. Sienna's breath caught. Her hands trembled. Not from fear, but from rage. So, Hannah wasn't just greedy. She was bought. Piecing the puzzle together. Sienna dug deeper. Late at night, when her door wasn't locked yet, she used the mansion's guest tablet, tracing patterns in Hannah's recent transactions. Every one of them linked to a private, underground account owned by Junwook Seo, Dae Hyun's sworn enemy, a ruthless mafia heir, a man desperate to destroy the 100 billion tech launch. Everything suddenly aligned like lightning in her brain. Hannah didn't drug her by accident. Hannah didn't betray her out of jealousy. Hannah was following orders. Paid orders. Junwook wanted Dae Hyun's reputation destroyed. He needed a scandal. Something dirty. Something humiliating. And who better to ruin a powerful CEO than a poor, vulnerable cleaner? A nobody. Sienna numbed in shock. The night flashed before her eyes. The drugged coffee. The dizziness. Falling into Dae Hyun's arms. Her kissing him. Their clothes coming off. The cameras catching the scandal. It wasn't fate. It wasn't drunken stupidity. It was a calculated setup. And Sienna was the weapon. She pressed her palm to her aching chest. 22 years of friendship. All fake. All paid for. Hot tears burned her cheeks, but she wiped them quickly. Cry later. Right now? She needed answers. And she needed to stay alive. As she closed the tablet, she whispered, "Hannah, you played me." A slow, cold rage filled her chest. But now, it's my turn. Sienna didn't feel her legs anymore. One moment she was standing in the guest room. The next, the world spun. Her vision blurred. Her heart squeezed painfully. She collapsed. Darkness swallowed her. The white room. When she opened her eyes, everything was white, sterile,
Cold.
a doctor stood beside the bed, flipping through her medical chart. "You're awake," he said gently. "You fainted from stress, exhaustion, and something else." Sienna blinked. "Something else?" The doctor looked at her with soft eyes. "You're pregnant, Mrs. Kang." Her heart stopped. Silence hit her like a knife. Pregnant. With Dae Hyun's child. Her fingers drifted slowly to her stomach. A life. Growing inside her. From a night she never meant to have. A night she never chose. Fear tightened her chest. She could almost hear Dae Hyun's cold voice. "You will fix what you ruined." If he learned she was pregnant, he would lock her down forever. Use the baby to control her. Use the baby to break her.
No.
Not this time. "I want this kept private," Sienna whispered. "No one tells my husband. No one." The doctor hesitated, but nodded. Her secret was sealed. And her escape plan began forming. Meanwhile, in the East Wing, Dae Hyun was pacing his dark office like a beast losing his mind. His advisor, Min Jae, stood stiffly in front of him. "Sir, we found something." "About the scandal." Dae Hyun snapped. "What now?" Min Jae swallowed. It wasn't her. Dae Hyun froze. Min Jae placed a file on the desk. Photographs, bank transfers, recordings. A full timeline. And then the security footage. A grainy video of the coffee shop. Hannah slipping a packet into Sienna's drink.
The drug.
The setup. The betrayal. Dae Hyun stared at the screen, his face drained of blood. No emotion. No blinking. Just pure, paralyzing realization. Min Jae continued, voice low. "Hannah was paid by Junwook Seo. His orders were to ruin you. Sienna was just the bait." Dae Hyun's knees almost buckled. All the nights he tortured her, locked her up, threatened her life, called her a snake, dragged her like trash. She had been innocent. Innocent. His hand shook as he pressed it over his mouth. He felt sick. He felt dirty. He felt crushed. "What have I done?" he whispered. His chest tightened brutally. Sienna. The guilt hit him like a storm. He had destroyed a woman who never harmed him. He had blamed her for sins she never committed. He had almost killed her. The confrontation. He ran to her room. Heart pounding. Soul trembling. He found her sitting quietly near the window, staring at nothing. "Sienna?" His voice cracked. She didn't turn. He fell to his knees in front of her.
Sienna.
"Look at me." She slowly lifted her eyes, cold, empty, broken. His heart shattered. "I know the truth now," he whispered. "You were drugged. Hannah set you up. Junwook planned everything." Tears filled his eyes. I hurt you. I punished you for something you didn't do. I almost killed you." His voice broke completely. "I'm sorry. Please forgive me." Sienna's jaw clenched. Her voice was ice. "You tortured me. You locked me up like I was nothing. You called for my death." She stood, every word sharp enough to cut. "You almost killed me, Dae Hyun." He bowed his head in shame. Speechless. Breathless. destroyed. Sienna walked past him toward the door. I don't forgive you. He turned, crushed. Sienna? She didn't look back. He rose slowly, eyes burning with something new. Not anger.
War.
I'll destroy Hannah, he whispered to himself. And Junwook will beg for death. Hannah's world ended in a single scream. Dae Hyun's men dragged her through the long marble hallway. Her nails scratching the floor, her feet kicking, her voice shattering into terrified cries.
Please.
Please, I'm sorry. Mr. Kang, please. Dae Hyun didn't flinch, didn't blink, didn't move. He stood there like a shadow carved out of ice, watching the woman who destroyed everything. His tone was flat. Take her. Hannah screamed louder as she was pulled away, but there was no pity in Sienna's eyes. Not anymore. Sienna stood in the corner of the hall, back straight, arms folded over her stomach. She watched Hannah cry and beg and lie, just like she did when she drugged her. There was no friendship left, no tears left, just a calm emptiness. Justice felt cold, but it was still justice. Junwook's fall. By noon, the news spread across underground networks. Junwook Seo's empire is collapsing. Warehouses raided, money seized, soldiers arrested, allies abandoning him like rats from a burning ship. Dae Hyun hit him so hard, so fast. Junwook's empire shattered in a single sweep. Even his lieutenants whispered, Kang Dae Hyun has gone mad. No, he hadn't. He was making sure what happened to Sienna never happened again. Hannah's confession. They threw her into a chair, tied her hands, let a single light burn over her head. She cracked instantly. The moment Dae Hyun stepped inside, she sobbed. I did it. I drugged her. Junwook paid me. I swear I didn't think she'd be blamed, please. Dae Hyun stared at her with the dead eyes of someone who had lost his soul to guilt. You destroyed a woman who did nothing to you, he said quietly. You destroyed my wife. Hannah's tears poured like rain. Please? I didn't mean. Take her away, he said. She screamed again. Sienna didn't react. She simply turned away and walked out. The silent decision. That night, Sienna closed her bedroom door, her heart trembling, her baby fluttering softly inside her. She looked around the cold mansion, the gold-lined walls, the locked doors, the memories of fear and pain. She knew one thing. She could not raise her child here. Not with this man. Not in this world. Sienna packed slowly, folded clothes with careful hands, stuffed little savings into her pocket, pulled her hoodie over her hair. She whispered to her stomach, I'm saving you, even if it breaks me. Then she slipped out of her room, silent as a stolen breath, and disappeared into the night. No note, no goodbye, just freedom, a new identity. 3 cities away, Sienna became Sarah Dean, a quiet woman living above a bakery, a nobody. She worked small cleaning jobs in the evenings, ached through pregnancy alone, cooked cheap meals, walked slowly in the mornings to protect the child growing inside her. But she slept peacefully for the first time in months. No screaming doors, no guards watching her every step, no cold insults, just silence, just warmth, just hope. She would raise her baby far from the Mafia world, far from Dae Hyun, far from danger. And every night, she whispered, You're safe now. Mama will protect you. Back at the mansion, Dae Hyun walked into Sienna's room after his business journey of going to fix the launching of the 100 billion company. The bed was cold. The closet was half empty. The drawer was left open. Her scent was fading. His heart stopped. A fear he never knew choked him. Sienna? Silence. He tore through the mansion, checking every hallway, every room, every corner. Nothing. She was gone. Completely gone. His voice trembled with panic and rage. Find her, he growled. Find her now. But deep down, he knew this time. Sienna didn't want to be found. The mansion was too quiet. Dae Hyun walked into Sienna's room, the one she barely slept in, the air still carrying traces of her soft perfume. For the first time, he looked around not with anger, but with something unfamiliar. Something heavy. A folded envelope lay half-hidden beneath a drawer. He pulled it out. Medical papers. He skimmed the text, and his entire world stopped. Pregnancy. 12 weeks. Stable condition. His breath shattered. His fingers trembled. His chest tightened, like a fist was crushing his ribs. "No," he whispered, stumbling back. "Sienna, why didn't you tell me?" The guilt hit him like a bullet. He had locked her in, threatened her, controlled her, tortured her, and she was carrying his child. A strangled sound escaped him, half pain, half disbelief, as he sank into the nearest chair. "Where is she?" he growled, voice trembling. His men rushed in. "Find her.
Now."
Nationwide search. Every city, every camera, every road. Dae Hyun no longer looked like a mafia boss. He looked like a man losing the only thing he ever cared about without even realizing it. Weeks later, a small, quiet town. Sienna walked slowly along the street, her belly round, her body exhausted from pregnancy and survival. She carried groceries pressed against her stomach, living quietly under a fake name, working a small cafe job. For the first time in months, she felt almost safe. Until she felt eyes on her. She turned and froze. Dae Hyun stood across the street. No guards, no weapons, no threats. Just him. And the moment his eyes fell on her belly, everything inside him broke. "Sienna," he breathed, voice cracking. She didn't move, didn't smile, didn't soften. He took one step toward her. She took one step back. He begins his silent protection. From that day, he didn't force himself into her life. He simply appeared. When she left work late at night, he stood in the shadows, making sure no one touched her. When her groceries fell, the storekeeper mysteriously said someone already paid her bill. When she received a threatening letter from a leftover enemy, it vanished before she even opened it. The landlord stopped increasing rent. The neighbors suddenly respected her. Sienna noticed. She knew it was him. One evening, she found him waiting outside the clinic. No guards. No anger. Just a man with regret in his eyes. "I know you hate me," he whispered. "And you have every reason to. But let me protect you. Please." Her eyes burned, but she refused to let him see her break. "You almost destroyed me," she said quietly. "I'm not coming back to you." He swallowed hard. "I know," he said softly. "And for the first time, I won't force you." His voice trembled. "I'll stay where you want me, even if that is far away." A tear slid down her cheek before she could stop it. She wiped it immediately. "I don't trust you." "I'll earn it," he replied gently. "No demands. No threats. Just let me make sure you're safe until the baby comes." She turned away, but her heart, betraying her, ached a little less than yesterday. Have you ever felt this? Comment your experience and where you're watching from. The first contraction hit Sienna in the middle of her tiny living room. Sharp,
Sudden. Terrifying.
she gasped, grabbing the wall for balance. No, not now. But the pain came again, stronger, deeper. Her water broke. Panic surged. She tried reaching for her phone, but her hands shook so violently the screen slipped. The door burst open before she could scream. Dae Hyun. His face drained of color. "Sienna?" He rushed forward, catching her just as her knees buckled. It's too early," she cried through clenched teeth. "I've got you," he whispered, voice shaking. "I've got you. I'm right here." He carried her out, shouting for the car. Inside the emergency room, Sienna clutched his hand like a lifeline. Every contraction ripped through her body, and every time, he held on tighter, like he wished he could take the pain for her. Her nails dug into his skin, her screams echoing, but he never flinched. "Just breathe," he whispered, forehead pressed to hers. "I'm here. I'm not leaving. Not again." Hours crawled by.
Sweat. Tears. Fear.
Then, a final cry from her, and two tiny wails filled the room. Twins. A boy and a girl. Sienna collapsed back onto the bed, shaking with relief and exhaustion. But Dae Hyun, he broke. Tears poured silently down his face as he stared at the newborns. All the walls he hid behind, the power, the cruelty, the coldness, shattered in one breath. He touched the babies with trembling hands. "I love you," he whispered, voice raw, trembling. "I loved you even when I hated myself, even when I didn't know how to love." Sienna's breath caught. She wasn't ready to say it back. Not yet. But she placed their daughter in his arms. A silent message. "You're their father. And you're forgiven." Recovery was slow. Sienna kept her distance at first, emotionally, not physically. Dae Hyun respected every boundary. He brought flowers she didn't ask for, bought diapers, baby clothes, everything before she even realized she needed it. Rocked the babies at night so she could sleep.
Cooked. Cleaned.
Became gentle, patient human. Never raised his voice. Never forced her. Never demanded love in return. And day by day, Sienna found herself softening. One morning, as he held the twins against his chest, humming lightly, she realized she wasn't afraid anymore. She was falling in love, slowly, safely, genuinely. Months later, she stood in the mansion chapel again. But this time the room wasn't cold. There were flowers, warm candles, soft music, and love. Dae Hyun stood at the altar, holding their twins, smiling softly. Not the cold Mafia king, but the man she had rebuilt with her forgiveness. When she reached him, he whispered, "No chains, no threats. If you say no, I walk away. But if you say yes, I'll spend every day proving you chose right." Sienna's heart trembled. "Yes," she whispered, not out of fear, but out of love. He kissed her gently, reverently, like she was the only softness left in his brutal world. Sienna grew into her new life with fire. She learned everything: business, alliances, secrets, enemies. Her intelligence and calm strength made her a legend. People whispered her name with a mix of awe and fear. The queen beside the Dragon King. Enemies trembled when she entered a room. Dae Hyun never stood in front of her. He stood beside her. And the twins, their world was protected by two parents who had survived war, betrayal, blood, and heartbreak. He left her half naked, but he became the man who would kill the world to protect her and her twins.